The Banshee chapter is a strangely titled sort of partially found footage horror film directed by Blair Erickson and released on December 12th of 2013. The premise of the film is that a journalist roommate from college goes missing while writing a book on the secrets behind the US governmental experiment MKUltra, and so she endeavors to discover the truth behind his disappearance and the conspiracy surrounding it. The film is loosely based on the works of H.P. Lovecraft, particularly his piece From Beyond. I've always had a soft spot for Lovecraftian works, and this was actually one of the first horror films that I watched once I began my obsession with the genre. Because of that, in part, I am conflicted on the film. Ultimately, it is a mixed bag of cinematic work. The Banshee chapter is the kind of film that has such obvious and potentially off-putting flaws, yet retains its own personalized charm and does certainly have merits. The cinematography is one of the most bizarre things about it. The entirety of the film is done as though it were a found footage approach with unsteady shots and cuts to similar angles, but there actually isn't a cameraman character to be found. It isn't a mockumentary, it's just some kind of peculiar indie style. At times it even switches to conventional still shots for no particular reason and then reverts to the unsteady cam. Performances in the Banshee chapter leave a fair amount to be desired. The cast is populated almost entirely of amateur actors, with one odd exception: Ted Levine of Silence of the Lambs fame and one of my favorite actors of all time. Levine plays a sort of roguish, adventuring investigator gone retired alcoholic character, and I do suppose that he does an acceptable job with what he's given. Which is another part of the problem. The writing to the film is pretty mediocre, or at least not especially, well, special. Your usual journalist looking into a secret horror conspiracy gone wrong tale with plenty of stupid jump scares, cheap effects, and cheap dialogue. The score is very unimpressive and production is no better. In all honesty, this is pretty easily one of those little independent horror films that's just trying, but it can't really find its footing. What I like about the film is that the ideas are pretty appealing, at least to me. I enjoy Lovecraft, I enjoy a bit of cosmic horror, though that applies to this film only scarcely, admittedly, and I enjoy journalistic horror. There are plenty of little horror works that don't really impress as films alone, but appeal to my weakness for particular genres, cliches, and what have you. The Banshee chapter is certainly one of them. I could throw this in with The Taking of Deborah Logan or with Grave Encounters, all little independent horror films that are just a mixed bag. Either you'll enjoy it or you won't, it really depends highly on how into this shit you are. In closing, I'd say give Banshee chapter a swing if it sounds interesting. All I can really say is that I enjoy it, and so it will be sticking in my library. That there's my piece.